Yes, Ashish.
Sir, if, regarding replacement goods, if exported to A party and A party rejected the goods,
Hmm.
and in simultaneously I transfer the same goods to B party,
Hmm.
and B party make the payment to me
Hmm.
in India. So in what that case rate I have to explain to DJFT and RBI?
Yes, because the payment is being received from the third party.
Okay,
Because in all export documents, you have the name of which party is mentioned,
it is A party,
right? And the payment is being realized from
B party.
B in what account?
Okay,
Okay. Hmm. So export of repaired goods, right? This is goods or part thereof, except the restricted ITC on being exported and found defective, damaged, or otherwise unfit. Now, see, the wordings are same. But in this case, goods are being brought back only for the purpose of repair. That is not replacement. In the previous case, goods were being replaced. This is the case, goods are brought back and those are being repaired and then again being sent. Okay. Use may be imported for repairs and subsequent export. Such goods shall be allowed clearance without an authorization and according with the relevant custom notification. To that extent, exporter shall return the benefits incentive available on the returned goods. Actually, that should be in the previous clause, not in this clause. If the item is restricted for import, the exporter shall require import license. However, re-export the defective spares by the company's firm's original equipment manufacturer shall not be mandatory if they are imported exclusively for undertaking research purpose or for carrying out the testing. Okay, so two things are there. Goods are brought back for repairs and being exported again, and goods are brought back only for the purpose of testing, etc. Right. So the manufacturer is getting back the defective goods. So he wants to carry out a test or he wants to analyze the situation, why the things are defective. In that case, question of re-export will not arise. Okay. But the thing is that even if this is the situation, the benefits taken will have to be returned. Because that is already in the clause. Okay. Now see this. Now, if you read these as separate points, then understanding will be easier. Now read. First point says goods or part thereof, except the restricted items on being exported and found defective, damaged, or otherwise unfit for use, for imported for repairs and subsequent re-export. Such goods shall be allowed clearance without authorization according with the relevant notification. So that is under section 20. To that extent, exporter shall return the benefits. Right. And when the goods are sent, again the benefits can be taken. Then, if the item is restricted for import, then the import license is needed. And re-export is not required if the goods are brought back for the purpose of testing or analyzing the cause of goods found defective, damage, etc. So in that case, no re-export. So benefits have already been returned. No obligation to re-export the goods. So in nutshell, you can say whenever the goods which are found defective or damaged are brought back and the benefits are returned, there is no obligation to re-export the goods. There is no obligation to re-export because the benefits are required to be returned. If those benefits are not returned, then indirectly that is an obligation to re-export the goods. Okay, so when the last clause says, however, re-export of the defective part, etc., this is not required. It doesn't mean that you can avail the export benefits also, and you can keep the goods in India also. Benefits will have to be returned. Got this? So again, next one. Goods, or rather, re-export of goods after repairs, etc. So here, goods found defective or damaged, etc., can be brought back for repairs import license is required for restricted goods. Export benefits shall be returned. And now what is not written that I'm writing? Can be availed again on re-export. Okay, and re-export is not an obligation. Re-export is not an obligation. Why?
It is brought for testing purpose.
No, because the benefits have already been rated.
Okay.
Right. So even whether that is for testing analysis or for otherwise,
Okay.
benefits already written. Now the government is not bothered whether you are doing this or not. So re-export is not an obligation. That is only specifically mentioned that if you have brought it only for the purpose of testing analysis, etc., re-export is not required.
It should be mentioned in the bill of entry, sir. Whether
Yes.
it is
At the time of import, you will remove the goods
okay.
under bond.
Under bond only. We have
Yes.
to do.
And the bond condition is that repair will be carried out within a period of maximum 1 year, and during that period, goods will not be used in India and goods will be re-exported within a period of 1 year. Then you need not refund. Then you need not return the benefits. But if you fail to export the goods within a period of 1 year, then the bond will be executed. You will have to pay the duty plus interest plus everything, etc. Okay.
During import, if we mention that it is the purpose of testing, which means that I don't have the obligation to export it again.
Correct.
Shall I mention that?
Yes.
That's in the bill of entry itself.
Goods are here only for the purpose of testing and analysis.